Hey, peace world. I thought on second thought, I was like, I better say something about this game because it could be a while before there's a second victory for Coach Jim Harbaugh against, the nemesis, the rivalry, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Shout out to everybody all the kids, the young men that played in that game yesterday, man. Maybe it wasn't the desired outcome that you were looking for, but I thought, man, what a great day for the Big Ten. What a great day for the game, the big game or whatever. Everybody kind of showed out, right? Everybody showed up. If I had to sum it up really quickly, I know you get 15 seconds of somebody's attention. I just feel like that Ryan Day and staff that they kind of coached the game expecting for Jim Harbaugh to Jim Harbaugh for Coach Harbaugh to for fate, misfortune, my man Gunn, shenanigans, something the unexpected to happen to Michigan. And that really didn't happen. They got the early turnover out of they got the turnover out of the way early. Seemed like McNamara was feeling himself a little too much. Maybe trying to land some big punches early on and really get the Buckeyes in a deficit and get them on their heels. But other than that, man, I mean, it was that turnover. And Michigan offset the turnover with the 4 combined sacks between Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabu. And then the rest of it was just Haskins being consistent all day. 28 carries, I think, 168 yards. No fumbles. Got the key first downs. I was joking. I watched the game with like 7 or 8 brothers that's all Ohio State fans. I gotta admit, Wolverine Nation or whatever. I didn't even have enough courage to wear my colors over to I didn't even have enough courage to even wear my colors over to the party that I attended. I wore some boxing shit. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna sit back here and be quiet and enjoy the game, stay humble. I didn't even clap, on the first touchdown. I didn't even really start getting vocal until late in the third. I'm sorry. I was at the game in 2019 where I started clapping after the first score. And then I set my ass down for the next 53 minutes of the game clock. So, that's just what went down. But no, big game from Haskins, 5 touchdowns, the most since like 1968, I think. Or ties the record that was set in 1968 against Wisconsin. Still, no wide receiver of no WR1 in theory. A bunch of guys had some key catches, 169, something, yards of passing for McNamara. Only the 1 interception. I think he was like 16 to 23 or something. He passed just enough, and I think the second summary statement that I would make is that Ohio State was never able to get on top to really put any pressure on Michigan for that misfortune to occur. They were never really under any pressure to have to do anything except maybe late, when they needed to run the time off the clock. And they overcame that on Haskins' legs. But 6, 7, or 8 guys, I think, had 1 or 2 receptions each. I thought one thing that, I was impressed with the first touchdown, the little misdirection play with the AJ Henning kid, running the reverse around or the reverse or whatever. And I was concerned, like, if we got to do something kind of somewhat of a gimmick play, if we got to do that to get on the board, what are we going to have to go to late? But like I said, they never got behind. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been making some comments to some other Michigan fans, like they had to solve the red zone issues, and you got to come out of these red zone possessions with touchdowns. And like I said, in steps Mr. Haskins. Karam had like 80 something yards himself. He had the one big play. I know me and one of the guys were watching, and it was, some questions about Aiden Hutchinson's number 97, his effectiveness at DN. Was he really that guy, or wasn't he? And he showed up. I thought he'd been missing in action a little bit the last couple of games, but he showed up, had 2 early sacks, or 2 I think in the first half, and then a critical one in the second half. I just thought it was a good game. For Ohio State, for the wide receiving core, the vaunted wide receiving core, everybody had all the yardage. My man, C.J. Stroud still throws for damn near 1,000 yards. Michigan, they bended, but they didn't break much. With it just being, that's a lot of wide receiving yards, just to result in 27 points. The young running back, Henderson, I know some of like I said, the crowd of Buckeye fans that I was with, they felt like he wasn't running the ball as explosively or as hard as he usually does. I didn't see it that way. I just thought Michigan had a really good day on defense. Not many tackles were missed. Pretty decent scheme and everything from the defensive coordinator. So obviously it's easier for me to feel good about the game because of the outcome, and then it's a double-digit win, first victory in the series in the rivalry for Michigan since like 2011, which was kind of marred by the Luke Fickell year. Wow, Cynthia Freeland looks pretty nice today. She's doing her game theory thing. It threw me off a little bit. But yeah, like I said, nobody really. McCarthy came in and had one big pass completion. I feel like, nobody can really quickly on. I thought it was kind of a key juncture in the game was the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, where only the Ohio State number 26 Brown, maybe, where he was the only one that got called. Of course, the guys that were with me felt like Michigan a flag should have been thrown and it should have been offsetting. I think if you look at it, a lot of the Michigan guys came over to defend their guy who had his helmet ripped off, and none of them came over and made contact with the Ohio State guys by pushing them or shoving them, pushing them or punching them or hitting a face mask or anything. They kind of just came over. I think a couple of them did the helmet, nudged them with their heads, and some words were exchanged. But nobody, did anything outside of football. It was really no punch. Like I said, no punches were thrown. So you rip a guy's helmet off. If you have the worst infraction, in scrum, like I said, it worked out in my favor. I just feel like I thought it was some good discretion used by the referees to not get too involved in that moment. Again, Michigan, that game, meaning what it meant to them, some of them kids on that team never winning that game before. I didn't think it was that horrible that they stood up for their guy and that they stood up to Ohio State as a team and said, this ain't that this year. So anyway, man, I thought it was a pretty good game, man. I enjoyed it. Appreciate my guy who hosted the party, Gunn. I appreciate him having me over, and all the Ohio State fans. It was pretty cool, man. It was a little interesting once the momentum truly shifted. That's another thing. The Michigan, like I said, I was there in 2019. The Michigan crowd was out of the game probably as early as late in the first quarter. Michigan's fans were kind of shut down. Yesterday, the fans were in it the whole way, and got louder and louder, and really helped. It's hard to win on the road in college football. You know this. You know this. And with the fans being pretty lit up late, and not that old moment, that old no moment never coming and never happening. I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was a good college football game. Now, in contrast, if you look at what happened down there with Auburn and Alabama, with Auburn having a chance to pull off the big upset, some things clearly they dropped the ball, figuratively speaking, on like three big moments. It was some things to be pissed off about. Yesterday, again, I just felt like, Ryan Day, let's be honest. I mean, eventually, you would have thought eventually Coach Harbaugh would out-coach Ryan Day, being the lesser experienced guy. At some point, he would be able to get him. And I think that's just what happened. A few players here and there, maybe collectively, maybe, Michigan hadn't lived up to its end of the bargain lately, and then maybe they overlooked Michigan a little bit. Again, I would hate to be a college football coach and have to rely on what you have to rely on to. Is no margin for error in college football, and you're relying on these 21, 20, and 19-year-old guys to go out here and make you look great in these situations where it's 110,000 people in the damn stands, and you got to get it done, and nobody wants to hear any excuses. So, hey, it just it goes. Now, I hope Michigan can go into this. What is it, Iowa? Is that who it is on the other side? I hope they go in there and get it done, and not really have that big drop. Again, no margin for error, even more pressure next week, and you got to go in here, turn this around, and make it happen. And secure you a spot in the college football, Final Four or national semifinals. So it doesn't get any easier. And Michigan, with trying to reestablish the brand in modern college football, with never having gone, I think this is their first Big Ten championship game. Could be the first appearance in the national semifinal. So this is uncharted waters for, one of the best brands in college football. Just experiencing some of this stuff for the first time. What's up, DT? They were way more physical than my Buckers. That's what I was kind of saying. I do think that would be the third thing that I say, that they were more physical. And I think that's the difference is, we've been getting the ass kicked out here. We got to make this. This is a good chance to make this happen, and they made it happen. So, I thought it was a good game, and I hope you enjoyed it in PA. I'm gonna get ready to get off here. Like I said, I thought I better come on here and say something about it and recognize the moment, because it could be a while before we get another one. Again, shout out to Hassan Haskins on a phenomenal game. Doesn't make the home run plays per se, often seems to get caught by that third level guy or that last defender. But, anything from 17 to 27 yards, he's good money in there. But actually making that last dude miss, that's not really his forte. But the leap over the defender at the end of the game on that big first down run, maybe that's when it becomes part of the iconography for Michigan football. And I do think they looked stunning in the all blue yesterday, the all navy blue. Good appearance for Michigan football. You need wins like that. You need victories like that, especially when it comes to recruiting. Does even better if you can go get this Big Ten championship game, and then even make it to the national semifinals, and maybe and have a good showing there. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm not trying to get too far out over my skis, but just relieved, man, that we did it. We did it. Let me get on off of here. Go Blue. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. Oh, and then the UD Flyers. You know, for staying in the Midwest region. You know, UD taking down Kansas. Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday afternoon. With Amzil hitting the big shot at the buzzer. So not a bad weekend of sports for you guy. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.